Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Minister, for appearing here today. Minister, your recent announcement seemed to limit food security to food banks, but food security encompasses much more. Food security and food sovereignty goes to the ability of food producers and processors to get food from the field, greenhouse, barn, or feedlot to our grocery store shelves and coolers. For example, social distancing restrictions have severely reduced the capacity of beef and pork processors, which has led to backlogs of livestock for producers. Producers have struggled to find adequate feed and space to accommodate the backlog on their livestock being processed. Processors have struggled to find labor due to the processing in a COVID environment. One independent Canadian processor in Saskatchewan was unable to obtain any funding support from your department, while hundreds of thousands of dollars went to processors that are headquartered in the United States and Brazil. More than 90% of beef processing in Canada is controlled by two foreign-based companies with very large processing plants, and a greater number of smaller plants would offer some flexibility when the larger plants are shut down. Minister, my question is, what are you doing to support Canadian-based meat processors to increase processing capacity and flexibility, especially for smaller plants who could offer that flexibility for producers?
Thank you for the question. And actually, there's a lot of question into it. So I would like to start by making the difference between emergency programs to help everyone facing COVID. So from those who have to go to the food banks, and you know that we have bought for $50 million of food surpluses to send it to food banks, in addition to the $200 million that have been put in place, has been made available to food banks. For the beef sector, the beef, I acknowledge that we depend a lot on a few big processing facilities. And this is, COVID has shown us what are the strengths of our sector, it has also showed the weaknesses. And this is something that we have noted, that we depend a lot on big processing facilities. And this is why you've seen in the fall economic statement that we have made strengthening our regional food supply chain as a priority. So this is something that I'm working on, and I'm having conversation with the industry to better understand how we can support better the food processing facilities in the different regions. You also know that we have put programs in place to support these processing facility, to put in place the right measures to make their working environment safer. And we have done the same for the farms as well. And through the business risk management agri recovery, we have also made available $125 million for provinces to open up the program. And this is what some of them has made, particularly in the prairies with the set-aside program. This money comes from our agri recovery program.